My name is Nur Zulaika binti Zamri. My matrix number is H22A0669.
My name is Nurfara Auni binti Marazi. My matric number is H22A0628.
My name is Nur Balki Shahira binti Shafri. My matric number is H22A0745.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Shafika binti Rusmizan. My matric number is H22A0885.
Comic video presentation. There are 4 students of law course from University Malaya discussing about exception to the general rule that contracts made by minors are void. All of them give some ideas to support their answer by giving relevant sections and decided cases in different situations. Introduction. What is meaning of law? The concept of law usually denotes a set of regulations and guidelines established and upheld by societal or governmental establishments to manage conduct. Laws are created to uphold order, guarantee fairness and safeguard to the right of individuals in a community. Depending on the legal framework, they can encompass various fields like criminal justice, civil rights, property, contracts, and more.
Relevant section and case. Contract for beneficial good and service. Contract that provide a direct benefit to the minor are enforceable if a contract is for the minor education, medical treatment, or other benefits that enhance their well-being. Courts may enforce such agreement. Phillips v. Humphrey, 1893. In this case, a minor was allowed to forge a contract for singing lesson because the courts considered the lesson to be beneficial to the minor education and future prospects. Situation in the music room. Mark: I will always want to learn singing, but I hate minor can sign contract. Teacher Sarah: That's true in many cases, but there are exceptions. If the contract benefits you directly, like enhancing your education or future prospect, it can be enforceable. Mark: Really? So cool, I actually take singing lesson here. Teacher Sarah: Absolutely. Singing lesson can improve your confidence, communication skill, and open doors in the future. Mark: That makes sense. I'm really passionate about music. Teacher Sarah: Passion is key. Let's discuss the detail and we'll get you started on your musical journey. Mark: Thank you so much. I cannot wait to begin. Teacher Sarah: Here our program information. Let's make this a wonderful experience for you. Conclusion. This dialogue demonstrates how contracts that directly benefits minors, such as educational service like singing lesson, can be enforceable under the law, emphasizing the importance of enhancing the minor well-being and future opportunities. Phillips v. Humphrey, 1893. A minor's contract for singing lesson was upheld because it was deemed beneficial to her education and future prospects.
Relevant sections and cases. Contracts for necessaries. Minor can enter into contracts for necessaries, which are goods and services essential for their well-being. These contracts are generally enforceable against minor. The rationale is that it is in the minor's best interest to have access to essentials even if they cannot contract for non-essential items. Nash v. Inman, 1908. In this case, a tailor suit, a minor, for the value of clothing supplied. This court held that clothing could be considered a necessary if it was suitable to the minor's station in life, and therefore the minor was liable for payment. Scenario: a discussion between 2 law students, Emily and Mark, about contract for necessary involving minors. Hey Mark, did you read about contracts for necessary in our business law class? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. From what I gather, minors can be held accountable for contracts involving goods and services essential for their well-being, right? Exactly. Like in the case of Nashville in mine, the court ruled that the tailor could enforce the contract against the minor because the clothing supply was deemed necessary. But how do they determine what's necessary? I mean, it's not that subjective. Good questions. The court consider whether the goods or services are suitable for the minor's station in life. So, clothing suitable for a young professional would likely be considered necessary. That makes sense. What if a minor buys something extravagant like a luxury watch? Well, for non-necessities, minors generally are not liable unless the contract is ratified after they reach the age of majority. But for the necessary, they can't escape payment even if it's something expensive like a Taylor Swift. Got it? So, the law aims to ensure minors have access to essentials, even if they can't contract for other non-essential stuff. Exactly. It's about balancing their protection with practical needs. Courts don't want minors to miss out on important goods and services just because they are not adults yet. Makes sense now. Thanks, Emily. Contracts for necessaries seems pretty fair when you think about it that way. No problem, Mark. It's one of those areas where the law tries to strike a balance between protection and practicality. Conclusion. This dialogue captures a basic understanding of contracts for necessary involving minors, referencing the Nash v. Inman case and discussing the rationale behind such legal principle.
Relevant sections and cases. Contract rectified upon reaching majority. When a minor reaches the age of majority, 18 years old in many jurisdictions, they can either ratify or disaffirm contracts they entered into as a minor. If they choose to ratify, continue with a contract after reaching majority, they become fully liable for its term. Steinberg vs. Scala, 1923. Here, a minor rented an apartment and continued living there after turning 18. The court ruled that by continuing to occupy their apartment and paying rent after reaching majority, the minor had effectively ratified the contract. Sarah, so David, now that you're officially an adult, what are your plans for this place? David, I think I'll stay here for a while. It's convenient and I'm used to the neighborhood. Sarah, makes sense. Are you going to renew your lease then? David, actually, I don't need to renew it. I already spoke with Mr. Johnson, my landlord, and he said the lease automatically continues. Sarah, oh, that's good. Did you have to sign anything new? David, no need. Apparently, by staying here and paying rent after turning 18, I've basically agreed to keep the lease going. Sarah, got it. So you're all set then? David, yeah, it's nice not having to worry about finding a new place right now. Plus, I'm okay with staying here. Sarah, sounds like a plan. Cheers to adulting. Narrator in Steinberg vs. Scala, 1923, the court ruled that by continuing to occupy the apartment and pay rent after reaching majority, the minor effectively ratified the lease contract, becoming fully liable for its term. This dialogue illustrates how a minor, upon reaching the age of majority, can ratify a contract they entered into as a minor simply by continuing to fulfill its obligations, such as staying in an apartment and paying rent, without needing to sign a new agreement. Thank you.
Relevant section and case number 4 is contract where minors misrepresented age. If a minor misrepresents their age and the other party reasonable relies on the misrepresentation, the minor may be held liable on the contract. This exception prevents minor for escaping liability by dishonestly misrepresenting their age. In this case, Alex, a 17 years old, lied about being 21 to buy a smartphone in an installment plan. When his parents found out, they wanted to void the contract. The store manager explained that although contracts with minors are usually vulnerable, Alex's intentional misrepresentation means has to return the phone. This situation is similar to the case of Leslie III Vishal 1114 years ago, where a minor had to return goods obtained through age misrepresentation. The situation about the misrepresented age contract. Inside an electronics store, Alex, a young teenager, is speaking to Mr. Johnson, the store manager. "Hello, I do like to buy this smartphone. I am 21, so I can sign the installment plan." "Sure thing. Let me just get the paperwork ready." Alec at home showing the smartphone to his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They look shocked. "Alec, how did you afford this phone?" "I told the store I am 21. They let me buy it on an installment plan." "But you are only 17. We need to sort this out." Back at the electronics store, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are speaking with Johnson. "Mr. Johnson, Alec is only 17. He misrepresented his age to buy the phone. We want to return it and void the contract." "Ah, I see. Alex claimed to be 21, so we acted in good faith." Close-up of Mr. Johnson explaining. Normally, contracts with minors are voidable, but there an exception for misrepresentation. Alex lie affect the situation. In Leslie III Vishal, a minor have to return what he obtained by lying about his age. Alex looking remorseful, holding the phone out to Mr. Johnson. "I'm really sorry, Mr. Johnson. I will return the phone." "Thank you, Alex. We'll void the contract, and once the phone is returned, this matter will be settled." Mr. Smith would like to say thank you for Mr. Johnson. "We appreciate your understanding, Mr. Johnson. Alex has learned his lesson. I'm glad we could resolve this. Have a good day." Mrs. Smith gave a warning to Alex. "Remember, Alex, honesty is always the best policy." "I understand now. I will make the same mistake again." In conclusion about this case, legal implication of misrepresented by minor in contract. In this case of minor misrepresented their age to enter into contract. Such agreements are generally verbal. However, an exception exists when a minor deliberately deceives the other party about the age, as demonstrated in this scenario and supported by the present set in Leslie Let's Vishal. The minors are obligated to return the obtained goods. This ensures that the mislead party is not unfairly disadvantaged while maintaining the principle the contract, with minor are typically not enforceable.